Woodlawn is a football faith-based film that comes from the directing duo of the Irwin brothers, who previously did films like October Sky. They also did last year's Mom's Night Out, and they make movies that the Christian demographic seems to like. Here, I would say that it is not only the best of their filmography, but they also make a pretty decent movie to go check out, because obviously it is a faith-based film, and even with the ending credits, it does that thing where it's really wanting you to go to their website and do this movement that they're showing you in the film, so a lot of people may not go there for that, but it's also a football movie that kind of, football movies, they do a lot of the same old thing. However, it's also a story about racial tensions, and where it covers the story of Coach Gerald, who comes in to coach in Alabama, and it seems that not everybody is getting along, obviously, because during those times they weren't, but he finds one student who is actually very gifted at football. From there, you're getting more faith-induced version of Remember the Titans, but nonetheless, an entertaining movie in that, because yeah, there is that faith aspect that if you don't like it, you're not going to like that aspect of it, but if you do, they do have it in there, and from an unbiased point of view, that really just comes from the character of Sean Astin, who one is a mixture of several different real life characters, but he comes in and he's just like the chirpy dude who just wants to pray for everybody and gets this whole movement going. So it does do it on the very cheesy side of it, but then on the football aspect of it, sure, it goes by the numbers, but at the same time, the football scenes do look really cool because they film it from a ground level, and especially with the main character or the main football player being a tailback, it's really cool to see how they film those scenes going along with them. Nick Bishop, who plays the main coach, is more of a TV star, but here, he does a relatively good job. However, the biggest problem with the movie would be not necessarily the pacing, but more so the way that they lay out the script, because again, it's an interesting story because it's based off of a true story, and you see a lot of the beats that we've seen in other movies like 42 and such, but the thing here is that they try to rush many things. There are moments in where if you are going in it for the faith aspect, where they have some really interesting scenes, some things where people really band together and they unite, and they're really well done. Cheesy at points, but they're impacting because they're retelling those moments that really, again, brought people together. However, like I said, there are aspects of it, and we're not only with the football season, and this is a thing that a lot of football movies have, where all of a sudden they're like playing a season and it's very easy to just skim through it or go on to the next one or stuff like that, but there's also some scenarios with the character, because the main guy who is the football player, not only is he going through a lot of turmoil, and you see some of those things, but there's a lot of unused aspects that they don't go with. For example, there's a relationship that he's building with a girl. Like, a year passes by that they don't talk, and the next moment he sees her, he's like, I love you, and we're going to be together forever. There's also a group of students who don't want to go with the whole Jesus movement, but only one of them really is sticking out like a sore thumb. The other two don't really do anything, but even that whole aspect in general, you would think would have been a bigger issue, but it's not. Along with also having 4 other African-American players who are on the team, and you never see any sort of, like, thing clashing between the two of saying, hey, we're not getting any playtime. So it's the scenario of wanting to have some racial tension, so you have a group that'll come in or a team that comes in that's very racist, and then in the next scene, all of a sudden they have African-American players in there, or wanting to say that, hey, you can really get, your faith restored or convert, and you have scenes where the coach, who, sure, he does convert in real life, but the way that they show you on screen is that he pretty much got a very important win, and then he's like, let's do it, I'll get baptized. Overall, for the faith demographic, I think it is an excellent film. In that regards, as a film in general, there are many points where it just doesn't reach up to the level of wanting to be, the racial tension type football faith-based movie that it needs to be, because they miss a lot of the points that they should have gotten or handled a little bit better. Nonetheless, it still has those impacting faith moments that I know people want to go see, but if only they would have just cut it a little bit shorter, because this movie is a whopping 2 hours long. Overall, though, I'm curious your thoughts to hear what you have to say. If you checked out this movie, definitely let me know down below. If you know the true story and want to compare it to what the movie portrays, we can also discuss that down below. If you saw that God's Not Dead trailer for the second part, we can also discuss that down below. And anything else dealing with movies, down below in the comment section. Until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later.